So I wanted to try making a go-kart that can easily be converted for use in the snow. Putting winter tires with studs on would probably be the logical choice, but my plan was to use skis and a tread system. In my first sketch, you can see I quickly abandoned the tread. My low budget meant I would be recycling all the parts for this project. I happen to already have built an electric bike in the past with an electric hub motor, so that would serve as my propulsion. I looked at buying metal from Home Depot or something, and metal's really expensive. So you can find old bed frames, and it's basically just angle iron. You can get it for like 20 bucks or even free sometimes. So I've kind of my notch here, and you can see it's only on the one side. Bend it like this, and then weld that up. So that was the first weld so far. As you can see, it's hideous. I had this disc brake just laying around ready for a project, and unfortunately it's actually too small for a bike wheel, or this bike wheel, so I'll have to come up with something else for a brake. The things are actually starting to look like something. The frame actually looks how it's supposed to, except I've decided I'm going to leave out the beam that goes across this way, just because it feels pretty solid so far. This is from a 1965 MGB, been chewed by rats or something. Okay, I didn't explain this very well in the video, but it flexes a lot under my weight. So, time for a redesign. Because of the flexing issue, I'm gonna cut that out. And I just went and bought this 1.5 inch square tubing. Unfortunately, it was kind of expensive, like $170. But I got 16 feet because I'm also thinking I'm gonna have to rebuild this back end because it's a little bit flimsy and it's probably going to break as soon as I set off. So the new steering design is a version of Ackerman steering, where each wheel has a slightly different turn angle to allow for the different turn radiuses. Of course, this doesn't really matter when you're using window blind mounts for your tie rods. Okay, that didn't go well. You can clearly see in this clip that it's definitely not strong enough to handle that kind of torsion. Also, I forgot to mention, for the first test run, I just shoved the e-bike electronics beside my seat. There's a shock on either side, but that they're not connected means that like one side can come up, one side can go down, and then your wheel is twisting sideways. The new system of the H bracket socket and everything is working well. I've had to cut out a slit here, and then the slits on the top are for the wrench to go in so you can actually tighten the thing. This piece on its own was too weak, so I don't know if you can see, but I actually welded a second plate onto the inside of each side of this. Alright, that works pretty good. The wheel's actually staying on this time. I got these skis, they're kids downhill skis from Valley Village. $10.50, pretty good deal. So basically the plan is, put that on here, the motor goes through, just can pivot like this, but not like this. The skis are on both sides on. They're able to pivot like that, up and down, so you can go over bumps. Let's see how it works. So the understeer with the skis is pretty bad. So bad that turning is basically not an option. The next upgrade I would have done would be to add a guide rail on the bottom of the skis, similar to a keel on a snowmobile ski. I ran out of time with this project. I was doing it during my 2 weeks back from school over the Christmas break. The winter break is surprisingly a pretty busy time, so fitting this project in was tight. Aside from the understeer problem, I think the bigger problem is the looks. I think it looks less like a go-kart and more like an electric wheelchair, but this was my first project using a welder instead of bolting things together. This project has really improved my fabrication skills, so maybe next time I'll attempt a full tread system.